Review of the Jeep Grand Cherokee. A plug-in hybrid drivetrain adds new flexibility and ability to Jeep's renovated, go-anywhere-in comfort SUV good things. Easy to get on with, frugal when charged up, thoughtful interior, and comfortable bad things. Too multi-purpose for its own good, far from cheap. And European rivals are more polished on the road. It is the most expensive Jeep that is sold in Europe, and the only powertrain it has is a plug-in hybrid. It's about the same size as a Range Rover Sport or Mercedes GLE. It's completely new, with a new monocoque and a lot of new tech features. The Grand Cherokee is also available as a 3-row LWB, with pure petrol engines, and even as an RWD in the United States. But not in Britain, where it only comes with plug-in 4WD and 5 seats. Jeep does not want to be associated with supersized gas-guzzling SUVs or fake by-fours. The plug-in hybrid drivetrain, which is referred to as the 4xe in Jeep lingo, debuted on the Wrangler a few years ago and quickly became a market favorite, even in America, which favors gasoline. Credibility in the one characteristic that makes a Jeep, off-roading. A four-wheel drive electric vehicle's quiet, manageable torque is quite impressive. Is it for sports or for other purposes? This does not, in a time when many SUVs aim for sportiness. It's right at home if you want to tow it or take it into the wild, but it will most likely be on the road most of the time. And Jeep has made it look pretty plush and loaded it with technology. Trailhawk is one of the trim levels, and it includes all of the off-road features: skid plates, a decoupling front anti-roll bar, chunky tires, and rear LSD. The Summit Reserve, the deluxe model, features Macintosh audio, a head-up display, HUD, and a second display in front of the passenger, where you'd expect the glove box lid to be. Now, tell me about the engine, okay? You mean the engine. Under the hood, a 2.0-liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine with 272 horsepower and a 143 horsepower electric motor produce a useful total of 375 horsepower and 470 pounds of torque. In the event that you ever feel the need to floor it, 0 to 62 miles per hour takes 6.3 seconds. The Trailhawk's top speed is 118 miles per hour, which is completely irrelevant news. Knowing that you can drive an electric mode up to 83 miles per hour without starting the engine is more important. This is not a hybrid in which one axle runs on gasoline and the other on electricity. For full Jeepular traction, they both drive all four wheels here. The 8-speed automatic transmission and transfer case can be driven by one or both independent clutches, which then direct the drive to the wheels. You can select normal high ratios for the road from the transfer case, or a low set for crawling off-road. Since it is a PHEV, it must have e-range. Certainly there is. In official tests, a 17.3 kilowatt-hour battery pack can go 31 miles, which could be 20 to 25 miles in mixed driving. Or it adds gasoline-derived energy to extend its range. The Jeep estimates a total range of 434 miles. It can also use the regenerated energy it gets when it slows down. Depending on specs, the Grand Cherokee achieves approximately 100 miles per gallon on WLTP. However, just like with any other PHEV, how frequently it is plugged in is the only real factor. Furthermore, operating expenses are affected by electricity costs. What concerning driving? The engine isn't very refined, but you don't usually have to use it much when you have electric backup. There is sufficient power for most requirements. The steering is odd, with a dead central band that shifts too quickly once you turn the car slightly. Therefore, a heavy vehicle that really needs to be driven smoothly sometimes requires too much effort on your part. It pitches if you're not smooth, but it rolls less than you might think. However, a well-considered ride is important, and the air-suspended version we tried has one. The 4x4 world's answer to glamping is paired with the coziest cabin. What competitors does the Grand Cherokee face? The Land Rover Defender, Mercedes G-Class, and Ford Bronco are all good options for off-roading, outside of the UK, of course. All of them were thoroughly tested side-by-side at this link, including the Jeep Wrangler. Of course, the Toyota Land Cruiser has now entered the market, and the Ineos Grenadier is the newcomer. Mind you, that one is only really good for extreme excursions. However, none of those are PHEVs, and their capabilities are unmatched. This is probably going to be mostly used on the road, so think BMW X5, Audi Q7, Range Rover, that kind of region. In most cases, a lot depends on how much money you're willing to spend on the issue. This leads us to the cost. These days, you won't be able to get into a Grand Cherokee for less than £70,000, with the Summit Reserve trim, which comes fully loaded, costing £85,615. It seems pricey. What's the decision? PHEV powertrains are a popular option for buyers of large SUVs. At least it's not just another fake sporty SUV, and its trail-conquering ability gives it genuine clout. Just look at the badges on X5s, GLEs, and other similar vehicles. The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe adds an additional dimension to this potential thriftiness: superior off-road intelligence. The question is how frequently you will use them. If the answer is a lot, then you absolutely need a 4x4 that is designed specifically for your job. If not much, are you really going to avoid the posh SUVs that are the norm because of that? The Grand Cherokee's pitch is therefore specialized because Jeep itself does not anticipate selling more than 300 of these in the UK. However, at least it isn't just another fake sporty SUV, and its ability to conquer trails gives it real power that most people can only dream of. Jeep deserves enormous credit for that. We can see the appeal given the ample space, capabilities, and equipment. However, the phrase, "jack of all trades, master of none," comes to mind.